That should be plenty. So I have to pull another black and white, but not a ground, because I'll share this ground. This one's gonna get labeled black for the 220. Now this next run is gonna be for 110, and it'll be for the 120 volt outlet. And this one will share grounds. Go pull that down. All right, so I got my ground to share between a 220 outlet and the 110 volt outlet. And I pulled up my two hot conductors. All I have is black and white, so I'm gonna just coat it black with tape. Then I'm gonna run 12-2, two runs of 12-2 Romex over there to the ejection pump, which will be something that I have to figure out. Whether I put it in the wall so I can run Romex all the way down, or if I bring it stranded down there through a conduit, I'll bring it down into the wall. We'll get that thing rolling. I have to clean up all this. I never pulled this all in, so I left all this mess up here. I never tidied it up before it was done. I'm gonna waste a lot of wire. Because I gotta go in there. I better measure. I better make a measurement. Ow, ow, ow. So I need at least 15 feet from there. Okay, 15 feet. And I know you're not supposed to run Romex through conduit. But hey, it's plastic conduit. Oh, that's better. Well, we finally got her. Ugh. Took me a little while. So we got it all stapled in. We got that terminated up here for the 220 and the 110 volt run. So I'll probably go down, tie off on the breakers, and then I'll go over there and put the outlets in. I'm going down to get a blanking cover for that so I can cover that now. That's everything I'll bring up there. I'm gonna have to bring a whole new run for lighting. But that's gonna be, whew. These are full. Yeah, we'll figure something out. Okay, this is highly, highly, highly not recommended. Panel power is on. I'm not snapping that on, and I'm leaving this one off. This is a 15 amp, but that should be 20. I need a 20 amp. So this is my 20 amp for the pump. I'm not an electrician. Don't do anything I'm doing. Figure out all your own stuff. Amp capacity for your wires, breakers for whatever you need. And whether you turn the power on or off. Okay, I found a 20 amp. So I'm gonna leave this 15 amp in place. I don't wanna try my luck. I'm pulling and putting in. So we're leaving this guy off, and we're gonna just go to hook in here, like so, and there. So now we have our 20 amp single, and we have our 20 amp 220. Now we got all these wires. This right here, I don't know what this is versus this. Okay, I think this is my 220. So I have the ground that's shared. I don't want this to go crazy and then snap into the panel. That would be exciting. You stay there. Okay, you guys go there, tuck these in. Every single thing I'm doing here is wrong. Do not do this. I'm gonna tuck that one under my armpit and just shove this over here so it doesn't get out of control. Okay. Now we're gonna go up over here. We need to be super duper careful of everything in there. And none of this stuff is a joke. Right, boss Nick? None of this stuff is a joke. Now I'm gonna go get my wire strippers and we'll get ready to strip them and stick them and clip them and tape that up black. I didn't have any red, that's why I didn't run red. But if you look, I do have, this baby is, I'm rated to 1,000 volts AC. So I could be like, and I'd be okay. Oh, that's gonna be it. There, we got her. And then we just crank her in. Tight, tight. T-I-T, tight. Oh. And pull, make sure it's not gonna come out. All right, and we'll do the same with the white wire. So that's your 220 volt in from the breaker going out. Now we'll do the 120, which we're gonna land here. So we're gonna take one black to the breaker, a white to the neutral, and either one of these neutrals works. Because I have a neutral bond, or well, actually I have the common bond that takes the common from here and ties them together, so it's kind of a ground and a neutral. I actually had to ask Boss Nick if it was okay to put the greens and the whites together, and he said, yep, because we have that common bond. Don't do this stuff if you're scared. If you're scared, you ain't gonna do it. It would be super simple that it just killed the power, and then you don't have to really worry about being scared of anything. But I don't know why I didn't kill the power. Oh, I really got this one long. It's too long. Watch out for that. Watch out. Ah, shit on it. Let's put them in there, seeing as we're right there now. Be careful. All right, that's what we got. So that's the panel. Again, I'm not an electrician. I'm not giving advice. I'm just showing you what I'm doing. White coated black, both carry power. White on this carries your common, and black carries your power. You figure out your ampacities for whatever load you have versus whatever you're pulling wire in for. All right, we're gonna leave that open, and then we're gonna head over now and we're gonna start drilling some holes. We're going to run the Romex down, and then we're gonna start getting our plugs landed, set up our 220 outlet and our 110 outlet. All right, awesome. Let's go over there and do that. Okay, time to power that up. This is an arc flash, but it's leather glove. All right. Nothing. Nothing, okay. Those are on, we'll get a meter and we'll check and see how our voltage is. At that point, then we'll know if we have a good electrical system or not. Better be good. And I'm going for this and the ground. Should give me 120, yep. And then here and the ground. 120, yep, good. And this guy here and here. Oh shit, there it is. No, wait a minute. Oh, it's reset. Oh, it doesn't reset. All right, we're gonna have to kill this one and find out what the heck. Oh, see that? You hit it and it goes, look at that. Yeah, this device is no good. I think I got another one. I'll have to swap it and throw this one in the trash. Today we are in the last stages of getting the stained glass studio drain, getting the outside, the workshop here, stationary tub or slop sink. We're going after the ejector pump this time. So I've got a new ejector pump. This one is an always on ejector pump. If I plug it in, it's gonna turn on. Whereas the one I have in the tank, it's an automatic one. And once I bring it out, I'll show you. It just has a float that goes up and down. It's a preformed float that stays on there and just goes up and down. It only allows you to take water out maybe that much. Where this one, once I install it, then I'm going to install these floats. And these floats then will, you have two floats. You have one float, this one is, oh, this is the top float. You have the bottom float, which will come up. And then this top float will come up. So when this top float is up and this bottom float is up, then it runs. And as it runs, this one will go down and then this one will go down to turn it off for the final. So when this one is up, it does not turn on. When they're both up, it turns on. It still stays running. Now it shuts off. And that logic is all handled up here. It's like a little bit of a relay logic, but I don't think it's probably solid state. It's all molded into this one little device. So then what happens is this is the plug then that will see the wall. This, well, I gotta change the outlet too. This is my new outlet. This outlet goes in the wall. Then this guy, which is the pump, plugs into that. So now 220 power runs down here to the specific, to the solid state relay that's in there. Then what happens when the floats go both up, it allows power then to power the pump. The pump ejects, and then once the floats are down, the whole switch turns everything off. So that's what we need to do down there. We need to put this outlet in. Downstairs we need to get the old pump out and get the new stuff set up. The last thing that we'll be doing is we're putting in this tank alert. This is 120 volt. This will screw in somewhere up here, plug into this, and there's already a float down there for this. It screws in right here. And the only reason this is in there, well, in case it overfills. And when this baby goes off, yeah, then the yucky work begins. All right, I'm gonna take this top off. Then I need to uncouple the 2-inch discharge line. Then I can pull that other pump up. Then we'll reattach the standpipe, make sure these are the same height so that I don't have to cut that. And then we'll get it all installed. I also have this plug here. The one that came with it had a single. This one's got a double, so that'll fit in. Then my cords will come through, and none of the stink will come up. However, I will put our TV over this when we're finally all done and ready to go. Looking down, you can see the pump. So I need to disconnect that guy right there. Then you can see the handle on top of the pump down there, and I'll be grabbing it there. That tether or that ball that's on there right now, this guy, that's for the alarm, but that's going to change. Because I think we're going to let it fill just to the bottom of my my ejector line. So we're going to let it fill to there. Wow, that's a long reach. I wonder if that PVC would be strong enough. I don't think I can reach down and pick it up. I don't know, let's see. No, I won't be able to. Because I'm not using it again, well, because I don't give a shit, I'm gonna reach down and see if I can grab it maybe with a bungee cord and pull that up. Whew, that's a long way down. Okay, so let's get these here and verify that there's, I almost had to kiss that they're the same height. And it does. Yeah. Right here, that's the same height. And our discharge, kind of that angle, we're gonna need to get a wrench. I've had this in the pit for 6 years, maybe 7 years. And I'm just getting to doing the plumbing now. Alright, let's get rid of that. And it looks like he had some stuff on there. And I got some stuff. Let me go get it. Oh. Use on PVC, CPVC, ABS, and all that stuff. So we're putting some more of this Great White. Take off to the Great White North, pipe joint compound. And that's gonna just help us a little. Now this is the only time that I'm gonna hug this pipe like this. Be aware. There has been no turds down this pipe yet, or up this pipe yet. Up pipe, down pipe, just the pipe. So I'm gonna get a vacuum cleaner now and suck out all that garbage that's down there. And that's it, right? So the worst part about this whole thing, if this pump goes bad, is dealing with the turds. Because that's, see, look at the size of my head. Look at the size of my head compared to that hole. And if you imagine just all turds coming up, whack. All right, I'm gonna try and get this down there to suck that up quick, because I'm starting to smell sewer gas and I don't like it. Okay, that's successful. That is a successful cleanup. But it looks good down there. And mosquito. Mosquitoes flying up here. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. There. Goodbye, mosquito. Okay, now we're gonna get the pump down there. We'll make that connection. And then I'll have to start figuring how we're gonna do the floats. But I'll have to be down there to do the floats. And I'm gonna have to plug that sewer pipe. Okay, I never was in the Boy Scouts. So I'm not certain. Maybe I'm gonna do a double overhand granny knot and a double twist. Maybe, no, but, oh, you know what I could do? I can do a double trilene. I'm gonna run a double trilene knot. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna twist this up a bit. Twist this up a little bit, twist this up a little bit. I'm gonna go through this hole, then I'm gonna come back through this hole, and I'm gonna tighten up my, there we go. That's my double trilene half hitch. And it's good, look at that. So, perfect. Thanks, Babe Winkleman, for all those years you taught me how to make a double, triple, trilene, half hitch knot. It's gonna hold so I can put this ejector pump back in. So we wanna kind of keep this out here. So I'm gonna kind of tie this off a little bit somewhere so it doesn't fall in. I don't know where, I'll just put it in this pile of junk over here. Okay, and this is my Babe Winkleman special double, triple, trilene. Okay, here we go. O-ring is not in there. Where's my O-ring? There it is. All right, I'm gonna get some O-ring lube for this quick. Double trilene, triple. Let's hope it doesn't fall and puncture a hole in the bottom. All right, so the Eagle has landed. Now I gotta get in there. I think I'm gonna put the ladder on that side. Let's try that. At least I'll be able to wear tennis shoes. Now remember, we do have some probably sewer gas. So we're gonna run, I won't get this fan, asphyxiated. It doesn't have to be super tight, but it's gotta be tight at least, you know? So we gotta remember, when the debris comes out of that pipe, I don't want it to interfere with my float. But because of the way the discharge pipe is, we're gonna have some issues. Now my other floats, we're gonna have to figure out where we want them so that stuff doesn't get tangled up. That's a lot of room for things to come in. All right, so we got the alarm in there. There are some access ports on the lid of this tank that I could put PVC down in to be a pipe for my floats. I have to figure out how to get them down there so they don't tangle up. All right, let's get this all untangled and we'll get it laid out. I think really, this float could go on the very bottom because all it needs to do, it just needs to not hit the bottom, right? I mean, it's got to stop a little bit before the bottom. And then this pipe, then we run the wire up there. And then this one really doesn't have to be, okay, this is way better than I thought. So I could put these in there and they're very short. So it's like bloop, on, off. And then bloop, on, off. So if we look at the lid, we have a big port, a bigger port, probably for removing the pump, so we don't have to take the whole lid off. You know what, I could leave that as the vent, make this my floats, and this my wire feed through. If I make that the vent, then I would not have to remove my vent when I have to do a pump potentially. Lots of decisions. I'll let you know how it turns out when I decide. Okay, so what we need to do is determine how this is gonna go. That port, or this port, I want that port as the vent. So, okay, so we know that our pump is under here. All right, so our pump is right there. And that gives us great access. I need to make sure I have a clear spot down below to put my floats on, and I'll show you what I'm thinking. I could put this pipe down here, and this would have my floats on it. So in the event that my floats crap out, I can just remove this and change my floats instead of having to pull the pump or go in the crock. The thing I need to do, and that's really tall, is put that piece on there. And I'm gonna open this guy up so I can see what's going on in there. So I can see that I got room. So we need to see where that hits so it doesn't interfere. So I got to take that off. I don't know how that, see that swings around a lot. All right, see the PVC down there? It's close to the pump. All right, so it's got some swinging around room. I need to be able to make sure that it'll set and the floats will have to come up on that side. So I can rotate that. I just need to measure from the bottom of the floor when I set that lower pump, that lower float. So it hangs about an inch or two above the bottom. And then the upper one would have to be just, it would have to get up just below that pipe so I could measure that discharge pipe there and measure on there. Then I could put the floats in this way. You know, the alarm float is gonna have to stay there. If the alarm float goes to crap, I'm just gonna unplug it. And then wait for turds to come bubbling up through the lid. All right, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna measure up from the ground. So the other one I'll measure from the floor to the discharge pipe and make sure that the float is activates just below it because our alarm float goes above it. Okay, so that's the plan. Let's get some measurements and get some things rolling. So if this hits the bottom, I want this float like right here. Now I'm gonna measure inside the tank. When the float is all the way up, it needs to be just below that discharge pipe. Well, the whole entire day just went to shit. I dropped that lid inside. It broke my fitting. Hopefully it did not break my discharge pipe. I gotta go in and look. Well, I'm going in there to now fix what broke. Hopefully I have parts. That was really horrible. So I think what I'm gonna do is go in there and try and just cut this out of there. I just fucking set shit and leave it laid, and I can't fucking find it. What in the fuck? Jeez Louise. Holy shit, did you see that? I mean, that's good because I have another one. But that wasn't even really glued on. Wow. That makes me worry about all of this. All right, I just ran the vacuum cleaner in there. Now we're going to put this stuff back on and crank this guy in. I have a 2-inch, a spare. I may just cut that other pipe in there. You know, it's not, that other one in there is schedule 80. This one is schedule 40. What are you gonna do, right? I mean, that one wasn't even glued. That's really crappy. Get it, crappy? Okay, I'm gonna be going down. I'm gonna cut that discharge pipe. I may even cut it a little bit further in. I was like, why is that cutting so hard? Because you're cutting a t-shirt, dummy. I should have this fan on. There we go. So it's got a 90 like this. It's not a 90 sweep. Like you'd see a nice 90 sweep. And I don't have any. But I really would love to put one on there. So he didn't bring this pipe in level. We're a little bit tipped. So now I gotta force that together. Which, I mean, it'll go. But I don't think he had my best interest in mind. I am not super happy with that. Not even a little. Now we're back to where we were. Comes out at 3 foot. So I need my discharge float to come up before 3 feet. So that's 2 foot, and then there's 30 inches. So that's a lot of room for stuff. That was a couple hour redirect, but I like that I have the pump moved over this way. I think that's gonna be okay right there. So this is gonna be my float hanger tree, and it's gonna go down right there. So I might just leave this full length and then make something over here that'll attach to this to hold it. So I'm gonna just lay the float tree in there, get all the wires and stuff attached to it, and bring it up. Let's go down and try and get things attached. It's getting a little bit more crowded in here. Perfect, and then we can come up here, because we want to be out of the way of this guy. Up here. I'm coming out of here a little bit. I think I need a little fresh air. All right, we're gonna get the big lid. And we're gonna put the big lid on there. Kind of lay it over the top of that. Should be fun. Good thing this isn't any heavier. And they will go up and down nice there. So that actually should work pretty good. I'm thinking that's gonna be pretty good. So I'm almost to the point where I'm going to start filling it with water. Obviously I gotta get the ladder out of there, and I gotta change that outlet right there. So we have the gasket for this, and we have this. So this is gonna go down, and that will kind of stabilize that. And then that's it. Well, obviously we'll have to glue a cap on there, otherwise that stank will come out. But we've got our grommet, and this is only a 2. I need the one that's a 3, and I have it here, I just lost it. So we're getting closer. Now I gotta go and find that 3-plug grommet, and obviously everything's gonna have to get caulked. The living daylights caulked out of it. So we'll be raising and lowering this a couple more times. I probably should have took the ladder out when I still had this all apart, but otherwise, she looks good down there. It's almost ready for water. Yeehaw! This will be the plug, because I've got a 3-cord plug. So we're good, we're getting there. We are slowly but surely. So our floats are over there, and they're clear. And our overfill float, our alarm float is there, it's good. And that's where all of the debris will come out of. So that's good. I'm just gonna put some covers on right now, temporary. And I'll get that outlet changed. Then I'll try that outlet. Make sure the pump runs. Just give it a boom. I've got the outlets changed. Ready? This is the pump. The pump should turn. Yep. Good. So we got her. And that doesn't, I thought that would really torque.
but it doesn't.
Okay, well, we're done with that. We just tested the pump. It was quiet, and it does not torque around like I thought it would. Tomorrow, now I'm gonna just clean up my mess here, kind of seal everything off, just lay the covers on so nothing falls in, because I don't want to go back down in there until I absolutely have to. We have to still make some type of stand for this guy, and it'll probably come off of there and it'll hold that. And then I have a cap for that. Okay, that's it. This is good stuff. It's closer, tick-tock, and then I'll be able to do the toilet next. Then I won't have to walk outside to take a leak. And the neighbors won't have to go, what is he doing, taking a leak again? Well, guess what time it is? Today it's time to get this crock filled with water and then see if all of our floats are gonna be okay. Okay, real quick, we've got our pump. These are the floats. This is the pump power. This goes to our tank. Yep, it works. So that's gonna be our tank. Let's go back to watching it fill. So let's look, we're getting closer. We have the low level float is now up, and we're making our way to the high level float. Okay, let's watch it come up the rest of the way. We still need to go that entire distance of that high level float. So we've got the stained glass studio sink running, and this is doing two things. It's helping us fill up the crock, but it's also making sure that we have a really good seal and that this won't give us a problem down the road. And then this bucket is here. My wife put that there just in case while we're doing all of our testing. But so far, so good. All right, we're getting close. So I'm gonna put the video down there to watch. Excuse me, I wanna see how the floats react, and I'm gonna be out by the septic system seeing if it can handle that big inrush of water. You can see the alarm float coming up as well, the yellow and black one. All right, you guys keep an eye on it. I'm gonna head out and wait for the discharge into the septic system. I think it's kicked in. Yep, it's kicked in. The pump is running. Everything is looking good so far. Not seeing a huge change. It is climbing there. But we're still okay because it's water. So you can see the fresh water, you can see the water going out. She's still pumping. It's a lot of water. Holy cow. Okay, and that's it. Okay, that looks good. Everything looked good. Okay, well that was a good test. What was that? Oh, that's what's draining back from the septic. So there will be, because it's up a hill. All right, so as you saw, it went in, float came up, she started pumping. It goes up the hill to the holding tank. Then from the holding tank, obviously, it comes out to our filter field. And everything worked good. Then the water that comes back actually lifts that lower float a little bit, which is okay. We still have 30 gallons, 35, maybe even more. That's a lot of water that we push out when we do push it out. All right, cool. I would say that's a pretty good test and everything worked well. Now, we got to button up this system. So now we got to get our float stick set, we got to get our vent in, and then we got to get everything closed up. So far, look good. I got clear.